Is online medical school worth it? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, I am JV, a second-year medical student from St. Luke's Medical Center College of Medicine William H. Quasha Memorial. In this vlog, we are going to try and discuss the potential answers to the question, is online medical school worth it? Should you still enroll or take a gap year during the pandemic? Before we continue to the video, I hope that you guys can like this video and subscribe to my channel. Without further ado, let's get it! Hello guys, welcome to the vlog. Before we start, I want you guys to introduce yourselves first.
Hi, I'm Maan. I'm an incoming second-year medical student from UERM.
Hi, I'm Nadine. I'm also an incoming second-year student from St. Luke's.
Hi, I'm Bella, currently first year in UCM.
Okay, so let's go now to the first question. What is your daily routine like for online school?
At first, syempre, I tried na gigising akong maaga for class kasi I wanted to stimulate yung parang face-to-face classes na I'd wake up and then take a bath and then fix myself. Ganon. Pero, nung nagtagal, I think I speak for many of us na minsan sa kama na lang ako nagka-class. My daily routine, go to class and then study na talaga right after.
Same, go to class and then usually after class have brunch or like take a quick rest and then spend the rest of the day studying also.
For me, I wake up really early. So usually 5:30, I'm already up. Then I try to study before class. Usually I sleep like mga 12. That's why I wake up early.
Okay, so now we know your daily routine. So can we know naman your class schedule?
Ang ginawa ng admin namin is, ginawa talaga na ng 8 to 5, as in like a normal school day. What they usually do is half of the time is for asynchronous and then other half is for synchronous na.
Okay, what about for St. Luke's? Nadine, can you give us an overview?
So it's basically the same, that it's whole day classes, but most of the time it's really just half day synchronous and half day asynchronous. Most of the time also the synchronous classes are in the morning, so that's from 8 to 12. And then you get the afternoon free if you can watch the pre-recorded videos or you can study or review previous lessons.
What about for UP, Bella?
So us, we're also 8 to 5, but depends on the professor if it's synchronous or asynchronous. So some days, like 8 to 5, we're asynchronous, and other days, 8 to 5, we have to go to the Zoom class.
So here, like a lot of people ask me talaga, especially yung mga pre-meds, the incoming ones, how do you guys replicate yung lab? I'm actually interested then kasi when I was a freshie, I had a lab component talaga, like face-to-face pa. But for you guys, it's online. So how did you guys replicate yung anatomy and histology lab?
So in St. Luke's, what happened for histology was that you would be in a Zoom with our professor and then she would show us the slides from a website. So because it was on a website, we really got to see everything up close. But then for me, the more interesting part was for anatomy because you know that we can't see the cadaver. So usually what would happen is that we would be given pre-recorded videos from our profs of them in the lab in school, and then they'd be the one dissecting the CADs and they'd just zoom it up close and then show you the structures that you need to see. But then whenever possible, our anatomy prof and our department head, his name is Doc Dex, he would show us like plasticized structures that he'd take home. And then there was one time he did a live session with us. So we were doing the anatomy of the heart. So what he did, he had this Lala move from St. Luke's to his house, and then he had his whole setup, and then he showed us how he dissected the real heart up close, and we were also amazed, and we were also thankful that we actually got to see it live and up close. Like he even had a camera above and then like different angles. So like that was really such a high yield session for us.
Siguro the difference lang with Nadine, kasi yung lab namin, we were broken up into rooms and then we were to discuss them on our own. Ibibigay sa amin yung material the night before and then we were to discuss them as a group. Tapos may prof lang in the same group to guide us, like iko-correct kami, gano'n. Tapos we also had lab din kasi for physio and biochem. So yung sa physio kasi diba yun yung mga reflexes, gano'n. So ginagawa lang namin dun is i-record namin yung sarili namin doing the reflexes, ganon. And then sa biochem, prof yung nagpapakita. Tapos kami na lang in charge of analyzing the results, ganon. And then yung sa cadaver, may binigay sa amin kasi na na website ba, yung Grant's Anatomy, na madaming videos lang of a person dissecting a cadaver. So yun.
For us naman, same yung setup for histo and biochem. But for anatomy, our profs would record themselves dissecting the cadaver, and then they would voice over like what structures they were dissecting. And then we would either watch that together in class or they would send it to us and we watch it. And then we also had a few lab sessions. You know the like virtual cadaver table in Grey's Anatomy. So we have one also in UPCM. And parang this is the first year they used it. So we had a few sessions na our prof was using it in one screen. Then in another screen, it was the share screen of that cadaver table. So it was like a virtual dissection in real time. And we could see our professor doing it. And we could also see the program at the same time.
Okay, so here, like, a lot of, like, people ask me kung ilan talaga yung oras ng tulog ko. But as a second-year medical student, usually mga 4 to 5 hours. Usually 3 na lang, especially pag may exam. But I wanna ask you guys, especially first year, which is considered to be, you know, the easiest life in med school na ha. Like, easiest na yan. So, like, it's gonna get harder. But, how long do you guys sleep? Especially now na online setup. Or do you guys even sleep? Let's start with Nadine.
Okay, so with the online setup, I honestly get 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. And like I asked around my friends and they also get around the same amount of sleep. So
Maan, how much sleep do you get?
So, charot. Kasi ako, I mean, I think JV, you know how much of a night owl I am, diba? So, before pa ako mag-med, late na ako natutulog. So, I usually just get 5 hours of sleep because I really sleep like late. And then, for sa med, like on a normal day, it's 45 hours on average. And then kapag exam, I make sure na kahit an hour of sleep before the exam itself. Because I really can't function without sleep at all.
I'm kind of in the middle, so I get usually 5 to 6 hours of sleep. Because yun, if I sleep less, I get so sleepy during class. Then if it's an exam, mga 5 then. Because like if I don't sleep, then I don't know anything sa exam.
Just to make it clear how we're not advocating for people to actually do all-nighters, ganyan, you know. Study as early as possible. Kasi like, yun nga, sinabi ko rin na parang if may exam, very important talaga na dapat may sleep ka. Kasi same ako ni Bella, as in sobrang antukin na ako na. Especially na walang interaction with people. Like walang gigising sa'yo, ganyan. Mas maganda rin yung function ng brain mo kapag mas solid yung tulog mo. Can you guys share to us, like what do you guys do to distress now na it's online setup? Can we start with Bella?
Okay, so I usually work out like 3 or 4 times a week. I work out. And then, I make TikToks. Super fun, like parang to distress lang kahit 30 minutes or something.
okay, I got into K-dramas and K-pop. So like it's super surprising that I got into it during med, but then it was really helpful to like take a break from med and like cope.
Same kind na din, Char. Kasi, as in, nagulat talaga ako, as in, K-poperist. As in recently lang, I've been into like K-pop and also K-dramas. And also, sometimes I'd sneak in a workout or like video calls with friends. Ayun.
We can't stress enough the importance of diba? Like, you know, de-stressing yourself talaga. Kasi like, you know, the online setup is not the ideal setup. Plus, if you don't de-stress, you're gonna be super stressed pa with everything else going on around you. So with that said naman, like, I'm interested, knowing na it's online medical school na prior to even entering medical school, how did you guys prepare yourself? Like, mentally, physically, siguro emotionally, everything, ganyan.
I think the most preparing that I did was just to prepare my room. Like, to make sure na my space is proper. But mentally and emotionally, I think I didn't have time to do that because I really didn't know what I was expecting. So, I think when it just happened, I just went along with it and like adjusted as it went on.
Same with Maan na I learned in med school how to deal with med school. Because, I mean, I did try to prepare myself because like hearing all the stories na everyone in UPCM is so stellar, like best of the best and all that. So I really tried to be like, okay, like these are the people I'm gonna be with. But even if I tried to prepare, parang it didn't really help because classes are 8 to 5. So diba in college parang spaced out, then going to that 8 to 5, it's like, it's really hard to prepare for like the mental during that.
I just think I wasn't able to prepare because like they said, you don't know what to expect. So it's more like take it one step at a time and then learn to adjust along the way. So like sometimes I study while standing up. So it's just the little things like that that you can do to like help you cope with it as time goes by.
Yeah, and it's important then to note talaga na like in med school, it's constant adjustments lang. Since we have been talking about, you know, how you prepared, like, I wanna know naman kung may mga extracurricular pa rin kayo now na online setup na nga.
In UPCM, we have like class committees. So I'm part of the internals committee and SecGen. Then I also joined our freshie orientation program committee. So we're in charge of inviting the incoming freshmen and then like helping them prepare for their interviews and to adjust to UPCM life. Okay, so we also have orgs in UPCM, but baka next year na lang. Hehe.
Ako, hello, as a BS org nung college, I joined 2 orgs. I was supposed to join yung Cruciate also. But the thing with that kasi, I don't know how like doing it online was. So, medyo pass ako doon.
So there were orgs that were recruiting, but then I joined the SC under the PRO team, which is JV, our PRO. So that was really fun because we got to work together. And then there are lots of orgs, but I'm probably going to join them this coming year.
So here, next question. How do you guys effectively balance academics and social life? Let's start with Bella.
So for me, I'm the type of person na I like to plan out my entire day before it starts. So usually like before class, I set kunwari 1 hour for committee deliverables, then class. Then after class, parang protected time na 2 hours na I won't study. I'll rest or I'll work out. And then after dinner, that's when I start studying or group meetings and stuff like that.
Well, for the extracurriculars, I try to get them done as quickly as possible if they're like ASAP. But then for balancing social life, I like to make goals for the day. Like if I meet those goals, I get to reward myself with something at the end of the day. So like an episode of a K-drama or a variety show. And then for social life, I usually make time for my friends because it's not really that often that you guys get together in the online setup. So it's always important to find a balance because you have to remember that in med, you also have to take care of yourself so that you can do better in med.
That's very profound. Maan.
Same with Bella na I really like planning my day. As in, kasi the org I joined, the other one kasi is medyo chill. Yung isa kong org na sinalihan. It's really hectic. It was really important for me to plan my day out, to really plot the time na kung kailan ako mag-aaral, kung hanggang anong oras ko lang to, like how much of my time am I giving this work. And then in terms of me time, I think I just really had to do it kasi hindi ko talaga ako makapag-work if stressed out ako ng sobra-sobra. I think I can speak for a lot of people na if your mind and your body is really not in it, like hindi ka talaga makaka-aral, hindi mo talaga siya magagawa and walang magsisink in sa utak mo. So it was really important for me.
So it's very important nga to find a balance talaga between ACADS and social life. So if you could enter med school as a freshman again, knowing everything you know now, what would you have done differently?
I guess diba nabanggit mo nga JV kanina that first year is yun pa yung free life like amongst the 4 years of med school. I think if I could repeat it again, I would have taken advantage of my free time because sometimes talaga sa kakapanik ko, and I'm a very anxious person, and sometimes anxiety would really just eat me up. So and that would take time. Yung mismong pagpanic ko, it really took time. So I think if I were to do it all over again, I'd like psych myself na no, I can do this, kaya ko to gawin. And I'd take advantage of all the free time I can get kasi hindi ko na siya makukuha kasi patagal ng patagal talaga. Pabawas na pabawas yung free time na meron ka.
So if I could do this all again, I would try to focus more on balancing everything. So actually, I only learned how to balance things this second sem because parang nung first sem, I thought na if I studied the whole day, then my grades would be a lot higher. But then, like middle of the sem, I was super burnt out and I was really tired and parang I wasn't enjoying na. So when I started like setting aside a few hours talaga na these hours are for rest only, like no ACADS, anything, parang my med school experience was a lot better. Then, like even if I wasn't studying during those hours, parang I was still learning more and then I was able to retain more.
So if I could enter med school again, it's ideal, but I would have wanted to read ahead about the lessons like the night before. It's ideal. You might not be able to do it all the time, but if it's a hard topic, I think it's really gonna help you follow the lesson. But then it's really okay if you weren't able to do it. Like I personally, I wasn't able to do it. Like I just started to do it, but then as the work piles up, you really don't have time anymore. So it's okay. Just like take it one step at a time.
Kahit we say all of these things na if you repeated it again, you would have done this. Dun sa mga incoming freshies, if hindi pa sila nakaka-adjust ng first step, it's okay. Kasi baka isipin nila na by the time na baka sundan nila yung tips natin, tapos pagdating nila sa first sem, hindi pa rin sila adjusted. It's okay because it happens to everyone na pagdating talaga ng first year, hindi ka pa talaga adjusted. And mag-a-adjust ka talaga habang nangyayari yung med school. So, lalo na now na online and we're in the middle of a pandemic, it's super understandable.
So last question for this vlog, would you guys recommend going to med school now given the current setup?
I don't think kasi I'm in the right place to tell anyone na go, sige, I recommend you going to med school because it really depends for every person. Like, it depends where you are right now because not everyone is privileged enough to like have stable internet, to have conducive space at home, to have proper electricity na kayang-kaya gawin. Kasi ako, like, class pa lang namin, laptop, phone, iPad, gamit, ang dami ko nang ginagamit. So, it really depends. Kasi lalo na now, in the time of COVID-19, ang daming nangyayari. So, if you are in the right disposition to go through something really hard, because med school is really hard, as in, that in itself is an understatement. So, if you're really ready, if you have the means to go through it, go na. But if you really can't, wala naman problem with it.
So same with Maan, I'm not really sure if I'm the best person to say yes or no kasi my situation at home, like I have my own room, my own device, or I know that our Wi-Fi will be stable for like class and exams. So like for me, in my position, I would say yes. But for others na like you have to share your device, share your room, your environment isn't conducive nga for learning, you know, you have to really think about like yun, med is very hard. Then if you're going to add those additional obstacles, like would it really be worth it, or pwede naman mag-wait because it's always gonna be there. It's really already taxing, so it's best to start when you're ready and not just because you want to fit in some timeline na parang right after college you have to. Like I didn't expect this, was that med school online is very lonely. So like it's not like you have your classmates there, like you're all panic together, you'll all study together. And you have to rely on your own willpower to study like alone. So
like what they said, if you have the privilege and you really want to go into med, for me, I'd really recommend going into med despite the online setup. Because if you have that right mindset and you really want to get started already, find this golden med. At the same time, there's no age limit, as you said, like you can start anytime. But also, med school is hard, but it's also very long. If you already have the means to start, for me, I'd recommend going into it already. Because if your concerns are just about the online setup and that you're alone, I'm sure you'll be able to like build a support system around you and everyone is going through the same online setup as you.
This, like everything we're saying, is not meant to like scare you or whatever. If you really want to go to med, as in, I found really good friends also in med na I didn't think na makakahanap ako kasi yun din yung pinaka-fear ko kasi it's really lonely. So you really have to push yourself to make new friends. But once you really make new friends, like it makes learning easier.
Okay, those are very nice answers, and it's good na we actually take into consideration yung mga social and other factors na makaka-affect sa online medical school. So, thank you so much guys for your time and for answering the question, and hopefully by the end of the vlog, masasagot na ng mga viewers natin kung medical school is worth it for them kasi it's really case-to-case basis. So, thank you guys again for the time and I'll see you guys on the next one.
this, like you feel,